We've been expecting you, Mr. Bond. No, okay, on a serious note, the reason why I'm sitting here in a helmet and goggles is because this week we're reviewing the DJI Mavik Pro for skiing and snowboarding holiday videos. The question I'm asking is the DJI Mavik Pro a good tool for amateur filmmakers to take their holiday videos to the next level? Last week I went skiing in La Plan. I took the DJI Mavik Pro with me, and here's some of the footage I got with it. Hope you guys enjoy it.
Underneath my lips, something about the way you look at me gets me every time I see your face. Should still have fun, though we say we're done, 'cause I just wanna get down with you. Find the last time I can call you mine. Once more, then I swear we are through. You can tell me when we're naked.
Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed that video, and I hope it's kind of given you an idea of some of the shots you can get of yourself skiing or snowboarding with the DJI Mavik Pro. So this video, I'm basically going to be giving you a run through of all the pros and the cons of taking the DJI Mavik Pro on a ski holiday with you to capture yourself skiing or snowboarding. Just a little side note for you before we begin. I wanted to tell you why I took a DJI Mavik Pro with me on a ski holiday. The reason is because the last couple of years I've been taking the GoPro to get footage, but I feel like the GoPro videos of coming down a mountain are beginning to look a bit boring now. We've all seen them so many times. I wanted to take a Mavic Pro with me on holiday so I could take my snowboarding video to that next level and just make my videos more interesting, which I'm sure if you're watching this video is probably the same reason why you're considering it as well, is you want to get more interesting footage of yourself skiing or snowboarding. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to start off with some of the positives. The first thing is you get some absolutely incredible shots. I mean, hands down, that is the best thing about taking a DJI Mavik Pro with you on a ski holiday. As you just saw from the video then, you get these really epic shots that you will have never really seen before from any of your home footage or home videos you've ever taken before. And that is the biggest reason why I would highly recommend taking one of these things with you. If you're considering it, you get some spectacular shots that you just would not be able to get with any other camera, which is the obvious reason why you would take a drone with you. You get to see yourself snowboarding from a completely different angle that you've never seen before. It takes in so much more of the scenery as well. The footage you get with the DJI Mavik Pro is absolutely amazing. So that is the big reason why I love this thing. A couple of other small reasons. It's obviously got the follow me mode. So basically you send the drone up, you face it at yourself, you lock on to yourself, and then you can ski and the drone will follow you down the mountain, which is obviously an incredible tool to have because it means you can just ski and the drone will follow you. Another positive as well is this thing got snow all over it and it was fine. Obviously you have to land it in snow, so it's going to get wet. It didn't break, it worked perfectly, so it's really amazing. Another incredible thing about the Mavic is it's got a little gimbal at the front to stabilize your footage. Now, you realize after a while that this camera doesn't actually have to be in the air the whole time. You can actually fold it up and hand hold it while it's recording and ski or snowboard down the mountain and film firsthand with the Mavic. This is incredible because it means you can get full 4K footage in log mode as well. You can come down the mountain holding it and your footage will be perfectly smooth and it looks amazing. So that's another massive positive of having this. Another thing I did on the holiday as well was I took it as an opportunity to really test the range out of the camera. So as you know, on a skiing holiday you can see to other mountains all around you. And I was at the top of one of the mountains and I just thought, is this possible to fly this drone right over a mountain over the other side of the park? Which I did, and I think it flew to something like 4,000 or 4,800 to 5,000 foot away from me before you could tell it was starting to struggle. So it was a good place because there's no buildings around, you're on top of a mountain, so it was a really good place to test it. And it seemed to cope really well. I was really impressed. It literally flew miles away, way out of sight, over another mountain. And when it was over there and I wanted it to return home, I clicked the return home button, waited, and 5 or 10 minutes later, down comes the Mavic Pro to the exact spot it took off from. So this thing is really seriously impressive. The only other tip I've got for you guys is to get these neutral density filters. They're little caps that go over the camera of the Mavic. And what it does is they're like sunglasses for the Mavic. Obviously, when you're filming in the snow, everything is ridiculously bright. And these just help bring the brightness down a little bit. So if you are gonna go on a ski holiday, this little tip for you is I would definitely get some of these neutral density filters. You can go to Amazon, just type in neutral density filters or ND filters for the Mavic Pro and you can get some of these. Now, as you guys know, I'm a massive fan of the Mavic. I really enjoyed it and I love the footage it has got. However, this wouldn't be a fair review if I didn't give you some negatives. So I'm gonna give you some of the negatives now. It is very time consuming using this. If you are thinking this is gonna be a really quick tour, you get to the top of the mountain, chuck it up in the air and it follows you down the mountain, it's gonna be perfectly a flawless thing. It's not. It does take a lot of time. You get to the top of the mountain, you've got to ski to a point where no one's really about, which usually isn't anywhere near the top of the ski lift. Ski to a place where no one's really around, get out your bag, unpack it all, get your phone out, connect it to the handset, set it all up, and this is while you're just kneeling in the snow. Send it up, put it on you to track you. Then you ski down, and when you get to the bottom of the slope, you've got to pack it all away again. And then that's just one bit of footage. So if you really want to get some diverse, different angles, different ranges of footage, you've got to be doing this at least 10 times. And it takes up a lot of time. That's the one thing I will say, is it takes a lot of time. The second flaw with it is that the follow me mode doesn't track you down a mountain at this point, not that I'm aware anyway. I know that the Mavic has a terrain follow, so I think it can follow you up terrain, and I think maybe it follows you down, and it has the follow me feature where it can track you. But what it doesn't have is the ability to track you and follow terrain. So when it was following me, you get to the bottom of the slope and it's still locked onto you, but it's miles up in the air because as you've come down the slope, the drone has stayed at the same level. So this is another slight flaw, and I'm sure this is probably something that is probably just a software update for them, but this is something I struggled with, is as soon as you get down to the bottom of the slope, you're tiny. It doesn't follow right behind you, which is what I visioned when I took it on the ski holiday with me. I thought I was going to be getting it following right behind me every move I make. It doesn't really work like that. It just stays quite high. I'd say 80% of the time it locked onto me perfectly, but about 20% of the time it would just lose me. So I'd get to the bottom of the slope, I'd look around, it's nowhere to be seen, and when I reviewed the footage later, you can see that it was following me down the mountain and it just looked away. It just lost me. I'm still really impressed with it though. The fact that 80% of the time it was locked onto me perfectly massively outweighs the fact that it lost me a couple of times. But it did lose me a couple of times. And guys, honestly, those 3 points, it's a bit time consuming, it doesn't follow you down the mountain, and sometimes it would lose track of you, are the only negatives. And actually, I got around those things quite quickly by just having a second person with me. This wasn't a professional filmer. I just got somebody from my chalet who's never flown a drone before. He offered to come up with me, and I just got him to follow me down the mountain with the drone, and it worked absolutely perfectly. That's when I got my best shots, when I was able to get somebody else to pan back as I came down the mountain, and not only pan back but also move the camera down. Those were my best clips. The reason, again, why I think this thing is amazing is it took me about 10-15 minutes teaching someone who'd never used a drone before how to use it, and they filmed it, and that was my best shots. So it's kind of like a positive and a negative. It's easy to teach someone, but you do need a second person to get really, really good footage. If you want to get footage of it zooming down the mountain after you, or certain shots, you really need a second person. But it's not the end of the world. Most people would be eager to have a go of a drone and would be happy to help. And if you've got a second person you're going skiing with, they will most likely be more than happy to help you do the filming. One other thing I will say, which links back to the time consumption, is if you are going skiing with a family or a group of people, on a ski holiday, they are not going to want to wait while you unpack the drone, send it up, lock on, you all ski down the mountain together, and then pack it away again. It will get really boring for anyone you're with. So this is another thing to note, is if you're going, it's better to go with the intention of just getting videos of yourself, unless the party of people you're with are happy to stand around and wait, which they may say they're happy to stand around and wait, but when you've got 5 or 6 people standing there for 10-15 minutes while you send the drone up in the air, they quickly get tired of that because they've only got a week of skiing and they want to ski, they don't want to stand around. So that's the one thing I will say to note. The other thing is, once you send it up and it's locked onto you, it only locks onto you. So all the people you want in that video at that point have to stay very close to you. I'll show you a clip now. You'll see quite quickly that as soon as I go off ahead, the drone is just following me, and anyone else who's lagged behind is not in the video anymore. That's something else to note. If you're thinking you're going to have all your crew going down the mountain together and the drone's going to be filming you, you can get shots like that, but it may not be as easy as you might think to get shots like that. And those are the reasons why. Overall though, guys, I think that the Mavic is absolutely amazing. I think it's great. I love the footage I got with it. 100% I would take it on another ski holiday with me. If you're thinking about buying a drone just for going on ski holidays, I'd say go for it, as long as you're aware it's slightly trickier than you may first think, slightly more time consuming, but if you're willing to put in the effort to learn how to use it properly and how to get amazing footage, you will definitely be able to take your skiing videos to a completely new level that you just can't get with a GoPro strapped to your head. So there we go, guys. I hope you enjoyed the review. Overall, I absolutely love the thing. Couple of small flaws in it, but not enough to stop me wanting to use it again. And you know, the main thing with it is it's just really good fun. It's fun using it. I enjoyed it. You know, I wasn't on the holiday going, oh, I have to go and do drone footage now. You know, I was more than happy to go out by myself and take footage. You know, it was just a fun thing. It added to my holiday. So I would highly recommend it. Guys, if this video has been useful to you and you've enjoyed watching it, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be doing a few more tech reviews and other videos like that. So yeah, if you like it, subscribe. Speak to you guys next time.